Okay. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Natalia Alarcón, and I am the Assistant Director of the Community Services Department with Communify. And we also have with us Grecia Chavez, who is our Economic Empowerment Coordinator. Before we get started to discuss the Economic Empowerment Program, I want to provide a brief introduction of Communify. You may know us formally as Community Action Commission of Santa Barbara. Although we have a new name and new brand, we still carry on the same mission, which is to provide education and supportive services in partnership with the community so that Santa Barbara County residents can improve their economic security, become self-sufficient, and retain their dignity. Next slide. So before we dive into the Economic Empowerment Program and what that entails, I think it's important to go back to learn a little bit about why we even started this program and why we're so passionate about it. Some of the things that we've learned and that we know is that 78% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. And given the most recent pandemic and the crisis, it left a lot of residents in our community in very vulnerable situations. We also discovered that 44% of Americans don't have enough cash to cover a $400 emergency. And we've actually seen this time and time again in our courses, with the majority of our clients wanting to first establish their first ever emergency savings fund. And our goal is to really focus less on the dollar amount and just on starting up the habit of saving. We also learned that 38% of US households have credit card debt. And so those are also some of the topics that we discussed in our courses, and that 53% of adults are financially anxious. This is something that Grecia and I have talked about, and something that is disclosed in our courses. We talk a little bit about money mindset, where that financial anxiety comes from, oftentimes stemming from when we were children. And with that, I'll hand it over to Grecia, who will dive into the program itself and what participants can expect.
Thank you, Natalia, for that. Hi, I'm Grecia Chavez again, and I'll dive into the financial literacy a little bit more. So the economic empowerment helps families with children 0 to 5, and it's really to learn how the financial strategies that work for each individual in the participants, and we give all the resources and tools that they can use to budget their money and be able to save, and also go into their credit and be able to just manage all of that, since it is something that is hard nowadays, especially with everything that has happened. We always follow up with a 3-month session to just follow up and make sure that you are holding yourself accountable with those goals that you're making. So a little bit of how we break it down and we go into it. We do an intake assessment, and that just gives us information about you. And then we go into setting some SMART goals, some realistic goals for you. And then we do the financial literacy class. And then as you complete that, which is a 3-week course, then you get a certificate of completion, which is nice because then you feel very accomplished, and it's just something to be very proud of. And then, of course, we do the 3-month follow-up.
One of the things that I'll add also with all of our courses with financial literacy is that we always start in every class, we start talking about money, and we start making it feel less uncomfortable, because for so many of us, as I mentioned, money can be a challenging topic to start discussing. And so we want to make sure everyone feels comfortable. Everyone begins with an assessment to see areas that they may want to work on when it comes to their financials. And it's really an open forum where every individual can start in their class wherever they're at, and we're going to be able to help them at that moment.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Natalia, for that. Yes, just making it a better conversation, making everybody comfortable is our goal. To be here and talk about something that is very hard to speak about, especially nowadays. So our financial empowerment toolkit, this is a great toolkit that we use in the program to be able to set up the participant to its, their best. So with the first one is self-assessment. This tool it helps develop the participant on how to understand the knowledge of their financial status. So that helps with you knowing where you are and realistically. So that way, when you're setting your goals, you know where you begin. And then my money picture, this is a tool that helps with just setting your goals in your financial situation and where you want to go and where you want to ultimately end up and what you want to achieve. So these are great tools to be able to use so you physically can fill them out and you can physically be able to see it on paper and see it for yourself and hold yourself accountable for it. And now the SMART goals, they're kind of broken down. And as Natalia has mentioned before, we've talked about this before, it's kind of like a recipe, and all of these ingredients are kind of what puts it together. So, to be able to specify and what you want to accomplish and how important the goal is, right? And who is involved, and just to target the goal more as to and be specific about it. Measurable, to be able to say how much do you want to save, or or how many, and again, just being more into being specific about your goal, so that you can see it more in the future and you can put it into realization. And then an achievable goal, usually you want to make it to where it is achievable. We talk about how making smaller goals and smaller term goals are better. It gives you more encouragement to be able to get there and not feel like it's so far away or it's so not achievable. So you want to make sure that you're making small term goals. So that's where that goes into. And then a relevant goal is, to be able to just match what you're doing and make it worthwhile. And then also relevant to what is going on in just the economic environment nowadays. So, whatever your goal is, of course, you want it to be relevant to what you have going on and what everybody has going on right now, right? And timely is just to make it a timely bound goal. So we usually say 6 months from now is a good time. It's a good time to be able to make it a short term, and even smaller than that. It could be weeks from now, not just 6 months from now, but that's where everything kicks in, where we check in 3 months. So make sure that you're feeling still encouraged and you're feeling great about that goal that you made.
One of the things also that I'll add is that with all of our participants, setting up a SMART goal is an essential piece of our program. The reason for that, and actually what research shows, is that when you're able to actually set a goal and put it in writing, you're more likely to be able to achieve it. And when it comes to this specific strategy, it's important to be specific. Set a goal that is specific so that you're not just saying, I'm going to start an emergency savings fund. Oftentimes that doesn't make people as accountable as if they say, I'm going to save $25 every week and for 4 weeks to save up $100. Those are the kind of SMART goals that we're talking about. We want clients to feel empowered to set goals that, again, are relevant to their current situation, goals that are achievable based on their current situation, and goals that are timely. We understand when it comes to finances and when we discuss finances, it can be stressful. And so all of the SMART goals that we're setting with clients, they're based on that client's situation, what they feel like they can conquer and accomplish. So a SMART goal is absolutely where we start, and we check up on it within 3 months to see where they've landed. And then with a lot of our clients, what they do is that then they get into the habit of continually setting SMART goals and achieving them.
Exactly. So daily management, these are some of the topics that we go through when we're doing the class, the 3-week span. These are the topics we go through. The daily management, which is setting goals, and being able to do the savings and tracking the income and the benefits. Also the budgeting tools and saving, and also the basic credits and debits, and being able to know how you can get your credit down and what are the SMART strategies to be able to do that. So these are a little bit of the topics that we go through when we are in the class, and we go into a little bit more in depth on how to plan your bills, the wants versus needs. We do a lot of the activities that relate to this in the class so that you're fully engaged in it and you're being able to just see what you're writing down and everything. So this is a little bit more about the course.
And I would also add that with this course, there's a ton of flexibility. And so we'll talk a little bit more about the formats that we're able to provide these courses in, but oftentimes based on the greatest need, or actually based on the need of the individual, we can dive deeper into some of these topics. Again, we want to meet the client or the participant where they're at when it comes to their financial literacy, and we want to be able to expand their horizon so that they're able to achieve the goals that they have.
So the course format, the sessions, they could either be individual, so it could be individually to just one-on-one, a group setting, which is great as well. Location, as far as location, for right now, we are virtually just going. In the near future, we would love to be in person and being able to do this and engage more, as we know that that is very important. And frequency, also, it's like Natalia mentioned, it's very flexible with how we can schedule it. We know that everybody has a family, everybody has something going on in their day and work, kids, everything, but we are here to definitely help schedule what works for you. And weekly, as far as weekly, again, how I said the 3-week course, it's usually 1 day out of the week. And that could be, the 3 courses that you take. But then again, we like to cater to each individual. If they can't do that, then we can do a one-on-one session and schedule those accordingly.
And when Gracia mentions 1 day out of the week, it's classes are usually an hour and a half most. So it's not an entire day completely, but just about an hour to an hour and a half for 3 consecutive weeks is what we typically offer.
Yeah, we usually do it in the evenings, as we found that works better in people's schedule to be able to tap in and kind of sit down and be able to focus. But again, it's flexible and we can work with you as to what time of the day works better for you.
So before we, so the other piece of the financial literacy course, Gracia will tie that up towards the end of our presentation in terms of how to refer or how to receive more information. But before we do that, I just want to quickly mention some additional money-saving resources that Communify also offers, which is inclusive of our utility assistance program, our home energy upgrades program, senior safe at home, and family self-sufficiency. So I'll first start off with the utility assistance and home energy upgrades. So what we do is we're able to assist eligible low-income households with their heating and cooling energy costs with bill payment assistance. Clients can receive utility assistance typically one time over the course of 12 months. However, given the pandemic, we've loosened that requirement a little bit. And what is required to receive these services is an application. And then, of course, we verify income eligibility. So utility assistance, we would be able to cover either arrearages or payments in the future for either your gas or electricity bill. And then for home energy upgrades, that's actually an assessment that we can go out and do in the home and see if there's some appliances or things we can fix within the home. And then we have our senior safe at home program. This program provides free repairs designed to assist Santa Barbara County seniors with maintaining independence. And that can include anywhere from grab bar installations, exterior, interior handrails, and overall slip and fall prevention. In order to qualify for this program, there is no income restrictions, which is excellent. And then, of course, the participant must be 60 years or older, and then, of course, live in Santa Barbara County. And then lastly, we have the Family Self-Sufficiency Program, which focuses in three main areas, which is inclusive of education, housing, and employment. Currently, and part of this program is that we're also able to provide case management services along with client service dollars, which is inclusive of either short-term rental assistance, assisting clients with employment. And then if clients, unfortunately, if they may not have a vehicle, but are in need of employment and need to go to an interview, we would then able to purchase bus passes. And so this program is quite flexible. Our waiting list is currently closed at the moment, but we expect to open up the waiting list for the Family Self-Sufficiency Program shortly.
And again, as Natalia said, I'll wrap up the financial literacy part. If you guys have any questions, you guys feel free to reach out to me. I'm available for you guys. This is my email. It's gchavez@communifysb.org. And my phone number is 805-964-8857, extension, and this is important, #1141. So you always have to actually hit the pound first rather than at the end. And if you guys want to refer anybody to me, you guys, again, can give my email out. You guys can give my address out. I'm here available anytime. If I don't answer, I'm pretty good at getting back to you right away.